And we're here live at the Vic Vinegar Show. We've got Harrison, everybody's favorite homeboy, the man, the Eiffel Tower, the Twin Towers. He's the jet.
The one and only.
Yeah, the explosion. He's all of it.
Conspiracy
Everything.
theories.
Nah, dude, that's not conspiracy.
Harrison did 9/11.
Yeah, dude, you're saying that. I didn't say that. You're saying that. How you been, bud?
Things have been good. Long time sober at this point.
Nice.
Holding down a job.
How does that feel?
Different.
Sober? Does it feel sober?
Different. Yeah, I'd say
excruciating?
less cloudy and less blackouts. I remember more.
Yeah.
I miss it sometimes, just being able to drink, but I'm one of those people that simply cannot drink responsibly. It's go, and it's go until it's gone, or I'm gone.
Oh, I know. I've seen you chug an entire bottle of raspberry vodka. It's something that no one would touch for years, sitting on my shelf, and you drank every last fucking drop of it. And
I don't even remember that.
my girl at the time was like, "Who drank my raspberry vodka?" I was like,
It had to have been
fucking
Harrison.
Blackout over there on the fucking couch. Speaking of not drinking, here you go, Garrett. Welcome to the show, bud. Produce away.
The water show.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Harrison is most known, in my mind, for chugging a bottle of syrup. So we're just going to get this out of the way real quick. I mean, there's just only one way to fucking do that. And that's just to start
Taking my shot
with this wonderful video once our producer wets his willy, a.k.a. whistle. Okay. I don't believe it has sound, does it?
The video does have sound.
I mean,
Oh, my God, dude.
So this was the result of. This was the end of the night. There was no beer left, and I jokingly said, "Well, there's this bottle of syrup," and one of the people with me said, "You won't."
Of course.
And so, of course, I had to, and I just kind of wanted to see how far I could push myself.
It's like it starts off kind of slow, and then you start getting your stride or
Yeah.
something, like your throat starts to open up.
I guess.
Because now you're taking it down. Because at first you were like, all right, this sucks.
Yeah, it sucked the whole time. There's a point where you can clearly see me almost there.
I think this changed your life.
It definitely.
I think you were on one trajectory, and this put you on a whole different trajectory.
Yeah, I think this is definitely something that I look back on both with abject horror and disgust, and with some fondness, so a sort of vague fondness. It's
just got a commercial.
Oh, there it was. It almost came out right there.
They should have gave you a commercial.
This certainly is not what I want people to remember me
Oh
for,
my God,
but
dude.
it seems like right now it kind of is. But I mean, I think it's sort of a feat of human strength and determination.
It's here.
And then right here at the end, you can hear me say, "Why the fuck did I just do that?"
Yeah.
And then in that final frame, you see me, I puked immediately.
It's because you used to just drink, right? And then you needed more to drink.
Yeah.
And someone said,
Sometimes I wonder if it was ever about the alcohol or if
relax
it was
this-
just
yeah, you could relax this memory.
need something to drink.
You ever think doing it again would help you with your sober?
I think, next month will be 7 years since that happened.
Shalom.
And every year, I think, when it makes its rounds inevitably, because so many people shared that video, that it comes back around and somebody inevitably reminds me of it. And I think about what would happen if I were to try it again today. And, some days I'm more willing to test that theory than others, but I think I've kind of laid the syrup chugging to rest. And
Well, I want to propose something. Now that you've said all that, I want to propose the exact opposite of that.
What's that?
What we should do is every year do it on the anniversary of the syrup chugging contest. We pick 3 people. We rally together, $10 a head at the party. We provide a little bit of booze. Everybody gets fucked up. We do a syrup drinking competition in your honor.
I think.
And then when you die, it'll be carried on too.
It'll
And
be
so you'll have a
named after
legacy
me,
that
huh?
could be remembered only by syrup chugging.
The Harrison Rich Syrup Chugathon.
Yeah, so it'd be the exact opposite of what you're going for. By not being remembered for it, they would build statues of you chugging syrup.
I think if we charge tickets and we're able to create a revenue stream, I'd be behind it so we could donate it to charity. But I think the winnings should be doubled if they're able to beat my time, because it was actually pretty impressive.
You know who you are. You are listening, and you can make this happen. We could get this together. You know who you are. They are listening. This could happen.
I mean, they're out there. They're out there. I mean, people make content on YouTube of it. I think it's
No,
something.
I'm talking
we
like
can
a
get behind.
stage. We need a stage.
Oh yeah, like what's his name?
We need all of it. Cameras,
Action.
documentation, lots of booze.
Get the record books.
You're sober now,
involved.
so you might be able to chug it better. Or do you think
See,
alcohol
I
was
think,
like the...
I think that's the only reason that I even found myself in that situation to begin with. Did you see the state of the room that I was sitting in?
Yeah, dude.
I looked like I was in a.
I've been to that apartment, and it leans.
Yes, it does. That was I was living with Levy at the time.
It was a leaning tower of
Levy.
apartment.
I think the funniest thing about that story is Levy was home, but he wasn't home for that. He had gone to do laundry,
Yeah.
and then when he came back, I was throwing up into a
Oh my
trash
God,
can.
that has
He
to
was like,
be-
"Why does it smell like maple syrup in here?" And
That
I
has
was
to
like,
be a shocker. Oh, why does it smell like... Oh, it smells like maple syrup.
No, that
Because
was
I
the-
just projectile vomit
Yeah, it was
a bottle of maple
It
syrup.
was the best smelling puke that I will ever have.
Oh my God, I bet
Period.
it's so syrupy and disgusting.
It was. It wasn't as bad as drinking a bottle of maple syrup, which I had done mere seconds prior.
throwing
to
it
that.
up
So
is-
it was the best part of that experience, I think.
Yeah, so if anybody else is out there asking themselves, what was it better, throwing it up or drinking it? You're saying definitively it was throwing it up.
Definitively,
Yeah.
yeah, without question.
Yeah. So it tastes good, and it was a decent consistency, and it
Yeah.
wasn't nearly
And it
as
smelled.
bad.
I mean, it made the room smell like pancakes.
That's
I
disgusting.
am. I guess he was excited. He was like, "Why does it smell like pancakes in here?" And I was like, "It is not anything good, but I promise. You might want to just go back to the laundromat."
Do you ingest maple syrup anymore?
It hasn't really changed, you know. The funny thing is I was never much of like a syrup guy before that. I wasn't just like, man, I love this. What would happen if I drank the entire bottle? It could have been anything. It could have been a bottle of mustard.
What is this?
Yeah, we were just broke dudes in our early 20s, so all we had was like a 24 case of beer and a bottle of syrup. That was what our fridge looked like.
Fucking terrible, dude. It would affect my life. I wouldn't be able to look at it anymore.
I actually just had chicken and waffles for lunch today.
Dope.
It was fantastic.
Nice.
A little cafe here in town.
So it's not like the frat girl who drinks too much tequila and is like, I can never touch it anymore.
Oh,
So I
dude, no.
flew Brian and threw up all over.
You know, it's kind of funny because it is such just a weird flashpoint type event in my life as far as the repercussions, as far as social circles go, because like I said, everybody constantly reminds me of it, but I don't really think it affected the way that I think about food or syrup specifically.
You know, I think it was more effective than... I have a video of me and Josh Henderson and Garrett shoving batteries in our butts.
I know, birthday batteries.
Yeah,
That's an all-time classic, dude.
Yeah, it's a classic, and it's not, and that might be arguably worse. than chugging a bottle of syrup. I
I'd
guess
say
not.
it depends on what. I think there's a couple of variables. I think it depends, you know, the vessel inside of which the batteries are in.
Whoa, dude.
Any kind
Just
of
say asshole.
Oh, I meant like a condom if it was, you know, whatever was being used to pass it into your butthole. But
Yeah, just
what
say
kind of
asshole.
batteries I think is huge, because I think there's a big difference between a watch battery and a D or a 9-volt.
Yeah,
Those might be the same thing. I'm not really sure.
they were relatively small batteries, so it wasn't like we were doing anything.
When
brave.
was that? Like, what year? Do you know?
It was my birthday. I always do something fucked up on my birthday.
What year?
Well,
I know
I
it was
have one
birthday
every-
batteries.
I have one every year. I would say
Man.
2018.
So I knew you. I met you in 2017 when I was 21. So
Sure.
it was like a
God,
tail end
you've
of
aged
2016.
like 16 years since then.
It's the beard. A lot of it's the beard and the
Your body is just outpacing your fucking soul. or
Well,
something
that's
right now.
alcoholism,
What the fuck
man.
is
I
going
mean,
on?
when you drink, a bottle of liquor a day for 6 years, you don't exactly stay looking fresh. I saw some pictures of myself from a couple of years ago, and it's honestly a little depressing. But I think I carry it well. I
I'm
definitely
sorry, I'm
have
sorry.
aged. No, it's cool. It's true. Like I remember one time I showed a picture to a guy that I was friends with. It's a picture of us just drinking, and I looked so young, and it was like 2 years prior, and he was like, "Man, you looked so different 2 years ago." And I was like,
Yeah.
hard living, man.
I just started living.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wake up and I smack myself in the fucking face with a rock every morning.
yeah, and drink a bottle of syrup.
And
Take a syrup shower.
yeah, sometimes I play UFC on the tiniest TV that I can find
Dude.
for, I don't know, 7 hours at a time, only grappling.
Hey, no, I only did
Only
that to
grappling.
just to be a bad person, just to take out what I was feeling on people that were strangers. I remember, I think my favorite story of just like griefing people on UFC 2 was on Christmas Day. I shot for like 30 or 40 takedowns. Like I'd just let the guy get up and he'd stand up, and then I'd just take him down again, and he quit, and
How
he
demasculating.
sent me a voice message that just said, "I hope you're happy. It's fucking Christmas, dude." And I just turned the game off. I was like, "What have I done? This is am I a bad person?"
Because Christmas is fucked up because of me, dude.
I did that. And what's crazy is he could have been anywhere from like 16 to 30, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a little kid, so it felt way more real, because this might have been the only thing this dude had to look forward
He's
to.
probably like 24 and wasn't at his parents' house for the first year at Christmas.
Yeah, he was like, I just bought myself this Xbox, and then he runs into this guy.
Yeah, it's grapple and fall, grapple and fall, grapple and fall.
Ha ha. I hope you're happy, dude. It's fucking Christmas.
I hope you're that. What a god, dude. I guess you do just quit right after that. You do just put the
Yeah, I felt
controller
terrible. I was like, I think I'm gonna go drink.
down. Yeah, dude, we're getting fucked up now.
And now I look like this.
Now that I've broken this full-grown man's soul, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to go.
Because I was
power
good at
back.
that game. I mean, I beat the number 11 ranked player in the world on that, like, in the first couple months that I was even playing it, which I guess you could also account for some of that being, the leaderboard's not stabilizing yet. But he stayed pretty high, and I used to love playing those games. I haven't played them in forever, though.
Yeah. You were talking about competitive Smash Brothers before
Oh,
we
God.
started on
Yeah.
here, dude.
Yeah.
I get Jigglypuff and get kicked around like a
Dude,
bitch.
Jigglypuff. Well,
Kirby.
I think it's so funny when our friend he says that I play Donkey Kong and that I'm a cheap bitch. Like
You are a cheap
Donkey
fucking
Kong's one of the
bitch,
worst
dude.
characters in the game. Y'all just suck at the game.
No, you slapping everybody around.
Hey, I'm a strong guy. I'm a strong guy when I play Super Smash Brothers.
Dude, you're definitely fucking Diddy country, dude.
Dude.
You're Diddy, dude.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine named.
You're more like Diddy Kong.
I don't know about that.
You fly around by your
I think
hat
I
or
can
something.
co-sign on that, dude. I'm a little. I have the appearance of a knuckle dragger, to be honest. It's a cultivated look.
You do look like you drag your knuckles against rock.
Can't struggle with rudimentary addition.
Yeah. I wouldn't get shocked if your knuckles are all scratched up and you came into my house. I'd be like,
I got some scars on them, but
He did some Donkey Kong shit.
His
knuckles are all
this
fucked
is some
up.
monkey business.
Yeah. That dude's drinking again.
Man.
At least you don't laugh like Seth Rogen.
Dude, oh man, you want to talk about? I was troubled when I heard that he was going to be voicing Donkey Kong.
I love Seth Rogen. Why is everybody hating?
I don't hate Seth Rogen. I just don't know if I think Seth Rogen's the right pick for Donkey Kong. Who is though, right?
Who is? Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
Donkey Kong,
yeah, I
Donkey
mean,
Kong.
like, that's like
What was
the only.
that? Were
That's
you
the
trying
only.
out?
That's the only noise he ever makes.
Try out for Donkey Kong right now.
Oh.
Give me your thing.
That's about all he does.
Give me a little Donkey Kong line. All right.
Yeah.
Now do more. You got to do words. Donkey.
He doesn't say any words.
Yeah, he does. Seth Rogen does words in the movie.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's weird because he just sounds kind of adolescent, but I think that's what they were going for.
I think he just sounded like Seth Rogen. Fucking hell, I mean, it didn't really.
I don't know. I imagine Donkey Kong with like more of a robust tone of voice, and he just sounded like a 22-year-old that smokes pot.
I mean, I like it. I liked it.
I thought it was the weakest part of the movie, to be honest, but I didn't hate it.
If we are on the Big Video Show doing critical reviews,
Critical
of Mario
review,
movie.
Hey, look, sometimes those are I do think it's very funny when like really grown ass adults pick apart children's movies, because I think that children's movies can be good, but I don't think that they need to be held to the same kind of standards that like
Who
I don't know.
fucking cares?
The Irishman, yeah. Like it doesn't have to be that deep, bro. This isn't for you anymore.
If you hate the new one, just show your kids the old one.
Oh shit.
It's like-
If you like the old
it's like,
Super Mario Brothers
this is-
movie,
Yeah.
like
Live action?
yeah, if you like that movie for any reason other than it's just like it's like injecting acid into your brain, and I don't mean like LSD. It's like what Jeffrey Dahmer used to
The
do.
one with John Leguizamo?
Yeah, that movie's like a fever dream.
I knew it was good.
I love it, but it's not a good movie,
No.
and that's okay. That's what I like about
And
it.
that is okay. That is.
Yeah.
But they were following the Ninja Turtles lead.
They were. And
Yeah. They thought they could do the same thing, and they couldn't.
the Goombas are like an eldritch horror to look at, man. Those things are scary.
They're terrifying.
They're scary,
Yeah.
dude. And like, why is Yoshi
When you
like?
pull up one of those Goombas from
They're
this fucking
scary,
stupid
man.
movie. that he's talking
Can
about.
I sleep with you tonight, dude? I don't know if I'm gonna feel okay.
And after that, look up the ones from the Ninja Turtles too, because they were fucking frightening as well. The little spiky guys.
And it was so crazy because they made Yoshi just like a velociraptor from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't understand.
Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? That is the stuff of nightmare.
Truly horrifying visage.
That
dude.
is- oh my god! Dude.
I don't understand why or how. Like, did they keep this a secret from Nintendo? How did they give this the green light?
What is he? Why the fuck does he look like that? Dude, that was a horrendous movie, but it was also fun.
What's like the Rotten Tomatoes score for that? I'm kind of curious to know like what other, because every now and then, like after a movie's been out for a really long time, you see it on Twitter. People will revisit it and go, better than you remember.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I don't think so.
No, they aren't going to do that with this one.
Yeah.
They're not going to treat it.
I think I
fairly.
kind of want to watch it again. It's been a while.
I can watch it.
What D&D alignment is Bowser? I'd have to say chaotic
Bowser?
evil, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe lawful
evil.
evil. I think lawful evil.
Yeah, because he wants to rule.
Yeah. But he doesn't really, I don't think he's got any. What's his platform? What's his policy platform?
How does he feel about the war in Ukraine?
Yeah,
right now?
global warming. I feel like he's a fan.
Would he have agreed with the way we treated Gaddafi on the way out?
Dude. And what about Bowser? He was just like, that's Donald Trump, dude. That's Donald Trump from the 90s.
Oh yeah, he's probably still Donald Trump now.
Well,
He just lost
the
to
actor.
Mario this
He was
time.
just like a CEO, like in human skin in the live action movie. It was so. What were they doing?
I don't know, but Bowser is a lot like Donald Trump because Mario
There.
has put him in prison, but it'll be back. He's gonna
Yeah,
come
it's
back
all
out.
it's all the same song and dance.
Yeah, he'll be back out.
He's just gonna leak out between the prison bars
He's
and
gonna turn-
reform
Yeah, I'll turn
like some
into
kind of
some sort of goo.
eldritch creature.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that term today, I guess.
Yeah, his hair will turn into a bean and unlock the door.
Dude.
So I
Lock him
saved
out.
some videos for you.
Oh, cool. All right.
Dude, we got
Yes.
the clip
Yes,
show,
yes,
baby.
yes. We got Gary on
That
the
one already doesn't look good.
sound. It's on the video itself. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Well, we do this every podcast. One podcast, we're going to get it right.
Is this like the similar segment where it's permanent or temporary damage?
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
How I'm trying to get a gauge for how old this guy is because I'd say temporary, regardless. I thought he landed more on his neck, but it definitely caught at the.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say temporary. I love when the
Fair enough.
thumbnail just doesn't bode well.
Look at this. Look at this.
You just know
Oh,
something.
you know he's gonna fuck this up. Oh shit!
I
The
didn't
dumpster got
expect
him.
the dumpster.
I didn't either.
There were 1,000 ways that could have gone wrong, and I think
got him,
that
dude.
was number 1,001. That's permanent at that age.
Yeah, that is permanent at that age.
Oh, no.
Dude, cool trick though.
That was. Oh God!
Oh my fucking god,
no.
dude. That's
I don't.
dental. That's dental stuff.
That's my thing. Is dental injuries are like my biggest fear.
Oh, that's dental.
God,
That's definitely dental and neck
That's-
related.
that's permanent, man.
Yeah, that's
He's gonna walk a little different or something.
He feels that.
He's gonna speak differently.
He's definitely gonna feel that.
That's a different guy now.
If you want to go to my Insta, I got something for that
The
ass
Ninja
dude,
Turtle.
dude. I got plenty of them. I've been saving away, slaving away, and saving away. What do you got? Throw me one, daddy. Oh, this one's awful.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, dude.
Just got carried away.
Would you? Yeah, this one you need sound for. Let's just give Garrett a minute to fix the sound and shit. Outside of syrup drinking, you did know we did have another topic we wanted to touch on a little bit, and that's the Crystal Howell murdering her father several years ago.
That happened. A little millennialism. That just happened.
What's
I
your-
remember. So I started seeing a girl.
No names.
Yeah, no names for sure. Even though they're out there, but anyway.
Thank God Crystal didn't get her.
Yeah, right.
Him or her.
It's maybe a concern, but I met this girl through my best friend. We were dating the best friends of Crystal, and it all happened really quick. I met her when I was 17, and I moved out of foster care very shortly after meeting her, and very quickly was seeing her on a very regular basis, and Crystal was with her for a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I remember one day it was, Crystal's dad is getting ready to move away. So she's letting us move in with her so that we can help her pay bills, because it's this giant sprawling house up on a mountain. It's like, I think it was like 6 or 8 bedrooms. And
Jesus fucking
oh
Christ.
yeah, it was insane. And I mean, they talk about it a lot on a lot of the podcasts that are out there. There's some really good ones too. There was one this year that released that was really fantastic. But then the next weekend, this girl that I was seeing calls me and she says, "Oh my God, Crystal's dad killed himself this weekend, and he was leaving Crystal the house, and."
Jesus.
Yeah, so
perfect.
I was like, man, I'm 18 years old. I'm a month fresh 18-year-old, so I basically have the brain of a child. And I'm thinking,
Like Donkey Kong? Would you say you had Donkey Kong's brain?
I think maybe one or two
Diddy.
steps behind,
You're
like
Diddy
a
Kong.
good, strong primate brain.
Diddy.
Diddy's a primate.
You're in Diddy country.
Yeah, I was in Funky Kong.
You were in Funky Land, but you're in Diddy country, baby.
So, but I remember thinking, that's odd. That's a really quick turnaround on all of this. And I guess the explanation was, well, he'd been planning this, and this was already in the works. Crystal was, I think, soon to turn 18 by this point, which really puts a lot of it all in perspective, just given like the threshold for possibly just. You could have just moved away. But, so then, oh man, this is just such a weird story to think back on. So shortly after the alleged suicide, I remember we were in the car with Crystal, and there's this guy that was into her, and he was calling her, like incessantly, and she picked up the phone eventually. She just kept ignoring it, and she said, dude, my dad just died. I'm not really in the mood for a relationship. I'm not in the headspace for a relationship. And I remember sitting in the back seat of that Range Rover that belonged to her father.
Yeah.
And thinking, Yeah, man, I guess that makes sense. and
Good for you.
and that's something
Good for you.
that is a truly horrifying moment that I look back on a lot because of just how there was nothing there.
She was just
And I want it to be clear that I readily acknowledge that I was not in that house with them. I don't know what happened. There's a lot of allegations of some pretty horrific abuse.
Yeah.
But that was such a it was just such a nothing moment. We were going to Best Buy. They picked me up because they needed a dude strong enough to like carry a TV into Best Buy to go return it for some money. And it was just a trip. They were just doing some shit. And then, I'm sure if you've listened to any kind of news stuff about it, you heard about like the party and the stripper pole and all that stuff.
No.
Okay. So, yeah, there was a housewarming party. The girl that I had been speaking to, or yeah, that's a really formal way of putting it, but getting familiar with, she and I had parted ways like in a romantic capacity by this point. How stuff is when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
And she invited me to the housewarming party, and I was like, "Oh yeah, baby, this is my time to go make a scene."
Yeah.
And I did. I went and I got blackout drunk because I took some Seroquel before I went. And that was pretty embarrassing. I don't remember that night, but I just remember the first thing I saw when I walked into that house was a certain somebody with no clothes on. I mean, I'm talking as soon as you walk into the front door, just on a chair in some dude's lap, just naked. And I was like, so I'd never been to a party before. I had hardly been outside. Just growing up in foster care and everything. I was like, man, what the fuck is going on? I had like drank a couple beers in the basement of my buddy's mom's house before. I'd never been to it did. It turned into a rager because it was, and they rightfully said it was never meant to get like that. And what's crazy is Michael, Crystal's father, was just folded up in the shed like 100 yards away. And I remember a dog barking at the shed. It was some party goer's dog, and the dog was just going crazy at that shed.
Yeah.
And now we all know why. And I remember,
I bet she was freaking out.
well, she was on. I think it was probably Molly. There were a couple of different drugs that she was on. I remember a buddy of mine was chasing her around the house because she had successfully removed all of her clothes.
Nice.
And was just sprinting through the house, going crazy, climbing through windows upside down and stuff. Like, it was wild. And my buddy was chasing her around with a dress, like a nightgown, just trying to like put it on her so she can, just trying to protect her, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the last. I remember I was talking to a dude out on the porch. The last thing I remember from that night is I was talking to this guy, and she climbed backwards out of the window onto the front porch.
Wow.
And then climbed into another window. And I looked at him and I was like, "Did you see that?" And then I just woke up the next day.
It's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Just blacked out at some murderous party.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I don't think that she's like a dangerous person or anything. I think whatever that was contained to the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the prison has a way of turning you into that, a dangerous person.
Well, yeah, and that's a great topic, the recidivism machine that is the American prison industrial complex. It's
not all rape and Doritos crushed up to make soup and shit.
Yeah. Fancy ramen.
Sometimes it's a brainwashing camp.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an objective, measurable fact that going to prison for a long time, there's different ways of wording it. It can be that it makes you a better criminal, but I mean, you still, the goal ultimately is to get you back there.
Yeah, for sure.
Our biggest mistake, if you want to call it that, because it depends on whose side you're looking at it from, was making prisons privately owned.
Yeah, corporatizing. They're doing them with schools now too.
Yeah, isn't that so exciting?
It's so crazy. Did we get sound back? Nice. Let's lighten the fucking mood here, because I'm fucking freaking out. Play him, the robe guy. He's fun to listen to. He's got a good advice for everyone.
A good advice.
Love your lavender blue colour scheme. Goes with the blueberries as well. Clearly a man with an eye for detail. You have a very confident stride. Very confident stride. Loved it. I adored the way you laughed at that pigeon. Compliments are simple, but not easy. Trust me. You have a marvellous weight distribution between your feet, sir. Good easy shift. Especially for us Brits. Present company included. I can give them, and do, but I can't take. Oh man, you're so good. Oh, stop it. Oh, come on. Oh, come on then. Doesn't mean I don't love it. You look great. A Yorkshire compliment, that's casting gold. Sincerely appreciating something someone has made an effort on will make their day. So you're in aquamarine blue jeans, field of dreams. Yes, you are.
He is looking sharp.
You're doing a wonderful job in a tricky set of circumstances.
That's my favorite
you look like
one.
a painting. You're just sitting there. It's fantastic. The more unique, the more bespoke, the more devastatingly effective. Your vibe is genius artist turned creative corporate legend. Beautiful. Safe and stylish. But also capable enough to deal with anything that's worrying you. You have ski resort owning energy. Sweet vibe, sir. Human Ibethan sunset. Get it right. It's like a natural high for the pair of you. Adore your head, sir. Love it. Wisdom. Should be cast in marble.
I love it.
We both
I need to
feel
hear
like
that
we've
more
had a
often.
coffee.
See, he's awesome, dude. I
Yeah.
like his vibe. He has just a cool vibe about it.
I think about things like that so often and how easy it is to just be kind to people, and you can make somebody's day so easily.
And he makes it fun. He's having fun too.
Yeah, like
You know?
my boss mentioned that one of my coworkers just stopped by and said, "Hey, you're doing a great job," and she was like, "He had no idea, but I really needed that day."
Oh, dude.
And you know, compliment people. It's free and legal.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. It's and it's impossibly British. It sounds like in that. I mean, everything he said just sounded like it was like warm.
Yes, I mean, there's something special about a British accent.
It's warm.
It's if it was a D&D character, I think it's like an automatic +2 to all charisma rolls, dude. It's just an automatic buff.
I'll say it one more time. It's warm.
It's warm and it's cozy.
Warm. Okay, it's warm. Scroll down a little bit. Let me see. This guy.
That dude looks like he's having a good time.
Yeah, they play him. Play the dude. Play the dude. He's fun. Down the bottom. No, not this guy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, go down to the guy holding the Patron.
Oh, this
He's
guy,
a
huh?
cool cat. Yeah, he gets down.
Cool guy. Are we on Cool Guy Graham?
This.
Ooh, wow.
That's cool.
Jesus.
So it's over.
My fucking eyes!
Yeah, I
Is
can't.
that like that's less than drinking a bottle of syrup, but more than drinking?
I think it's more. I mean, more money went into making that video.
Oh, definitely. Patron's way.
Yeah,
more
our rent
expensive
was
than syrup.
$500, and there was a sinkhole in the kitchen floor.
That's cool. Well, I mean that's an escape hatch. Watch out.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, right?
It led directly into the living room of whoever was living below us.
That's
so.
perfect.
One day it would have made a great opportunity to meet my neighbors.
Yeah. Just jump down on them. Just hop on their shoulders.
Man,
Time it just right. Land on their shoulders.
I can't. For what? What did he do that for?
Who?
That guy, just the Patron on the head, just to. I mean, I guess when you have a lot of money
I think he
and
was-
you're really wanting to make sure people understand it. I think because I mean, bottles of Patron aren't cheap, are they? I don't know.
Do you want to hear my theory on it?
I do.
I think he was partying with these chicks, and they were like, "We'll leave whenever we're done with the Patron. We'll get out of here."
Oh yeah.
And then
He said, "Well, now
because after you'll notice after he pours it on his head, he goes, "Wrap it up. We're done here." And I think it's because watch this moment, where he pours it on his head. He's getting it all out once it's all out, and then he goes, "Wrap it up. Wrap it up."
Could be, yeah.
He's like, "Well, get out of
I
here."
think that's a really unhinged.
Come on, Brittany. We're going
Unhinged.
back to
I bet
the
he
fucking
regretted
car.
that. Yeah, he looks like he doesn't feel good about
Yeah,
that.
no, his
decision.
girlfriend's drunk. She's been drinking that Patron. She's
Oh,
fucking
man.
hammered. And he's like, we're going back. You can't. And he
That's
dumps it on his head and said, wrap it up. We're going back.
I mean, I guess
gotta
sometimes
feed
you
our
have to make
dog.
an emphatic statement, and I mean, if anything, I think that's a good word for it. Emphatic.
Emphatic,
There was
yes,
no
yes.
mistaking that something was happening.
Yes, you used it in a sentence. Can you explain the definition of this word, emphatic?
Emphatic with emphasis.
Okay, that's all right. Okay,
Showing emphasis.
I feel like Garrett's trying to fact check you.
Really driving the point home there.
Yeah, no, with emphasis. I like it. Emphasis is good.
I'm so terrible at remembering or like explaining what words mean. I'm really good at having like I understand what the words mean, but don't ask me to explain them because I'm not good at it.
Okay, I won't ask you.
And ever again.
What was that
Don't
one
embarrass me
word?
like that. Ever. Never ever.
There was a word that I was super into for a minute. I'm trying to remember what it was. I guess I can't, so never mind. It'll cause dead air. I mean, it was great. Yeah.
Hey man.
Hey, words are tricky. They make me sad.
One
They
of
make me
my
happy.
favorite things about you is your wit. Honestly, like earlier when I called you just to make sure we were on track and you were looking for your phone. I guess what were you talking through your Apple Watch or something?
This useless iPad that one of my kids dropped into the bathtub,
Dude,
and
you love it.
it works great.
What else do you have kids for, right?
Just to ruin your good shit.
Yeah.
And my dog, he loves to and I love him for it. Just chew up some cool shit. He helps me out with making sure things have some marks on him. Personalization.
Yeah, my German Shepherd used to he would chew up specifically game controllers and he would shit in front of the door. So, and it was the kind of door that opens into the room. So
Our dogs are soul twins.
He'd catch me kind of off guard and I wouldn't have anything to pick it up with, and my only option was to
Hand it?
open. No, fuck no.
I thought you were gonna say
I think in the most desperate of times I would have like used a pair of underwear that I really didn't want to have anymore.
Have you ever picked shit up in your hand?
I don't think so.
You haven't. I have.
I believe you.
I've picked it up in my hand.
Sober?
I rubbed it on
Sober
a
or
guy's
drunk?
doorknob.
I'm so proud of you, man.
I was a
That's
kid.
insidious.
I was a kid. I rubbed it on his car doorknobs, and I rubbed it on all of them.
Oh man, what time of year was it?
Winterish, late fall.
Well, at least it wasn't. I was gonna say summer, dude. You can get some baked dog shit stuck to your.
I don't think it was still gooey in the morning. I bet it was pretty shelled up.
Man, I got a chill down my neck thinking of that's horrific, dude.
And it's a handful of poop. I mean, the second you. And it's mystery poop.
What did he do?
Nothing. We just like to do stuff.
Okay, so you're just being a kid, huh? Yeah.
It's just being cool, dude. I watched the guy.
Just being the kid that moms don't want their kids hanging out with.
I watched the guy take a coffee pot and walk out into the middle of the street and poop in the coffee pot. Walked further down the street, take the poop out of the coffee pot, and throw it at a window. A big window pane, one of those big living room window panes that are like 9 foot by 10 foot, big fucking thing. And it goes, doom, and fucking just sticks to it.
Was he clothed?
Yeah, he had pants on.
I'm just trying to paint. I'm trying to paint a mental picture.
He
What do you
pulled his
think was
pants down.
What do you think was going through that guy's mind?
Oh, he did stuff like that all the time.
You know who this guy is? Or?
Yeah, I was good friends with him.
Oh, okay. So that definitely changed. Okay.
I lived with him for a minute too.
So what was going through his mind? Was this a revenge?
Fun.
Just having a good time.
Fun, dude. Being a rascal, being a knucklehead.
That's a little concerning that you have
He's just
at
being a rascal.
a minimum of. Well, it sounds like he did that multiple times. So you have
He did his rascal.
probably ballpark at minimum 5 feces related fun stories.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You guys were big fans of shit, huh?
Yeah. So one time I was in the grips of addiction, and I was
Love
in
being there.
the Ingles parking lot, and so I had talked my way into getting into this parking lot, and I was loading up some druggage, and I was getting ready to get high for the first time in like about 24 hours. So the withdrawals were kicking in. I was sad and happy and had to poop, didn't have to poop, all sorts of shit was going through my head. And so I did the druggage. And so I get out of my truck and I do the drugs. I start to shit myself. So I hop out of my truck and I just pull my pants down and take the biggest shit.
Diarrhea.
No, it was all log, big log.
Dude.
Fucking, I was hoofing a baby.
So you were keeping up with your fiber intake.
Yeah, dude,
I mean, that's
I hoofed out a brown baby arm.
functioning addict, man. That's, I mean, props to you for that.
No, I ejected my bowels. And so I look up. I look directly up, and me and the bread guy lock eyes
Not the
from
bread
across
guy.
the
That's the
parking lot.
purest profession in retail, dude.
Yeah. So he's just doing his job so early in the morning.
Oh, bless his
And we
heart.
lock eyes in the parking lot, and I'm fucking mortified.
He's probably telling that story somewhere else right
he has
now.
a different version of it.
He does.
That's
One
a
time
lot
I
of fun.
saw a guy.
I just look over.
How do you think that impacted the rest of his workday? What
Oh
do you
my
think
God.
he did immediately after that happened?
He either quit.
I think I might go
Called
home for the
someone.
day. Oh, I definitely.
Are you that sensitive? You'd go home if you saw that?
No, I'd just use it as an excuse. I think I would definitely just use it as a chance to tell as many people as possible.
Yeah, I got in my
Probably.
truck, dude, and I hauled ass. I had poop all over me, poop all over the truck, dude. It was disgusting. I had a full-on wipe at my house. I had to
Yo.
sneak into the shower because God, you can't explain it. You can't
Yeah,
explain.
what are you
that.
gonna say?
There's no explanation for being covered in shit.
I got attacked by a wild dog and shit myself. I don't know.
That's a great excuse.
I mean,
man. Where's the bite marks?
It doesn't have to be. Just got my pants. It just scared me real
Oh,
bad.
Yeah, you pooped with no bite marks. Okay.
Yeah, just tear up
That
your
wasn't
pants a
getting
little bit.
by.
You gotta do some preparation. I think my worst active addiction story, it's a lot tamer than that, but just when I think, especially looking back, is like, oh, that was a low. That was a real low. I remember I was in college at when I still lived in the dorms at college.
Yeah.
And I spent the entire night drinking with a friend, and they went home, and they stayed home. I poured a cup about this size full of vodka and took it to class with me. Because I guess...
That's so fucking unhinged.
Oh,
dude.
I know, and I like
So fucking crazy.
somebody,
dude.
yeah, another one of my friends, was in the common area, and he goes, "Is that fucking vodka, Harrison?"
Going to school.
And I said, "Yeah, it is." And he was like, "Dude, you can't take that into class." And I just turned it up and drank the entire thing, and I said, "I'm not gonna, dude. I'm not
Nice.
stupid." And so
Hold up.
what do you think I am, irresponsible? And so I go into class, and I don't remember that class period very well.
Shit.
I mean, at this point I was about a gallon of vodka in since like the beginning of the previous night.
Oh Jesus.
With no sleep. And I mean, I made it through it's just very hazy, but then I remember leaving class, and I was walking back to my dorm, and then I blacked out, and I woke up, and the police were in my dorm room.
Nice.
And I woke up, and I was in midair, and I immediately went into defense mode because I was like, why am I floating? This is scary, man. Like, because they had my whole mattress. So I wake up in transit, you know?
The police had your mattress?
Well, yeah, well, it was two RAs in my building and a police officer, and they're lit because I guess, well, what they told me is that I was unresponsive, and I don't know if they mean like I wasn't breathing or if I was just not responding.
Yeah.
Because I think it was more so that. But I think they were about to try some alternative measures of getting me to wake up.
Start sticking shit in your ass.
And a good friend of mine from here in Waynesville was on their way to pick me up for the weekend. This was a Friday, and the cop is like, "Hey, man, so your professor called in a wellness check because you seemed very out of it in class." Now I know the professor that called the welfare check in. I just talked to this dude, or wellness check. Sorry, not the welfare check. Dude. I wish I had one of those.
But call that shit,
yeah.
dude.
Thinking, come on, hit me up, Joe Biden. But I mean, I still talk to this professor to this day. The dude's a saint, and he called in a wellness check, and I was waking up, and this cop is like, "You're clearly extremely intoxicated." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm pretty fucked up right now. What told you?" Because I had like I had empty liquor bottles in my room. I mean,
but you should have told him. You should have said, "Man, I was just scared to take the cup of vodka in your class and casually sip it." So
Yeah, I was
I'm not
doing
an
the right
idiot.
thing.
You just-
Yeah.
I thought you just said, I'm not an idiot.
I'm not
So
some.
I chugged it.
I'm not
all.
some irresponsible college kid. Okay, dude. I'm a grown man that's seen shit, and I have has some world experience. I didn't break any laws, big guy. Come on. But this was just the cop. The professor wasn't there, and then he takes me outside. He's like, let's just go for a walk, because he's expecting me to like wobble around. He goes to his car, and I'm like, I mean, I'm not going to jail. I didn't commit a crime. I'm just drunk. And he's like, I want you to blow in this, and I was like, I'm not doing that. And he's like, relax, bro. You're not driving a car. You know, he's like, I'm just curious because I saw how much liquor was in your room, and I just kind of want to know. And I was like,
Sounds like a trap.
it does. But the
Was
thing
it?
is there, no, but I blew a .36.
That's fucking a lot.
Yeah. And he looked at it, and he blinked, and he gave it to me again. And he goes, man, I don't understand how you're alive. Because I think .4 is alcohol poisoning. He's like, I don't understand how you're awake.
I've seen you hit .39, dude.
Easy.
Several times.
Yeah.
.39.
And he was like, never mind having a coherent conversation and walking around. You're not slurring. You're not falling down. Like, he's like, you have a problem, son.
Yeah, dude.
He looked like there was fear in that man's eyes. He was like, you have a problem.
He was scared of you.
And I was like,
He's like, this guy might become the Antichrist.
shit, dude, you might be onto something, man. Because he told you, I didn't know that .4. I was just like, damn. Because like that was just my mindset back then. I was like 22, and he's like, you know, .36. I was like, damn, bro, I'm killing it. And but yeah, so he was like, I'm gonna forcefully recommend that you go to a rehab facility for an assessment. And I was like, but my friend's here, and I'm trying to go back to Waynesville.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm gonna forcefully recommend that you go. And I was like, do I have to? And he was like, you don't, but if you don't have to, but if you don't go, I'm going to charge you with public intoxication. And I was like, I don't know enough right now. I could have just ended the sentence right there, but I was like, I don't know enough to argue. So I'm okay. You know,
Got me.
yeah, okay, fine. And then I went in there and I lied my fucking face off.
Yeah.
And I told this woman, I was like, look, I'm a big guy, and I'm no different than any other college student. I had a good time, and I woke up. I went to fucking class.
I went to class, man.
I was on time. I took notes. I'd love to see the fucking notes that I took if I even did. I don't know. I told her I did. And she said, and that woman, like, and that's when you know, like, you're a really bad addict, is when you get good at lying to
Yeah,
people.
when you're like, I did it.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yeah, yes. Yeah,
Yes.
it's like a rewarding feeling lying to somebody. And I was like, I don't have a problem. I just got a little too fucked up, and it won't happen again. And she was like, I mean, you know, I checked all the boxes, and she was like, I don't really see any reason for you to be admitted to a program, so I'm going to let you go. And I was like, yeah, baby. I'm gonna go fucking do some more damage, baby.
It's time to get there.
That's you know, like, and yeah, that's probably my lowest point, because it kind of it similar to that assessment. I checked all the boxes, just I mean, as close as you can be.
That's a fun low point, though. It's like,
yeah, because I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't do anything to anybody. It was all pretty self-contained, you know. And that's one thing that I'm really glad is that, like, being drunk, I've never really done anything, like, real crazy. I did walk off of a friend's house. Like, a lot of times I just, like, sometimes I'll get emotional.
yeah.
But I'm an emotional guy.
I've seen you check out and get a little emotional.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an emotional guy. And you know, that I think alcohol sometimes kind of just takes down some of those barriers, and I'm a crier, so I'll do that every now and then. But well, you were there with me when I got the news about my grandpa, and I was not in the headspace to receive that news.
It wasn't good.
No, I didn't have a good time that night.
Nope.
I remember waking up from work the next
A
morning.
lot of crying, a lot of drinking. I drank with you.
Yeah.
I got incredibly fucking hammered.
Yeah.
I have a story about, we'll veer off dead grandfathers. I have a story about one of my bandmates. He did kind of the same thing you did. So we were all making upside down pineapple shots.
Oh, okay.
And so they had taken like a 5-cup, like measuring cup. It's like 5 cups, so a big one. And they had made it, poured it like 3 cups of vodka and, whatever, 1 part and 1 part or whatever the fuck it was. It was a lot. 3 cups. It was a bunch of fucking vodka. It might have been a 3-cup measuring cup. But it was a lot. It was a bunch. And instead, he was making it to pour it into each of our shot glasses. And so my friend just grabs the whole thing, turns all of it up, drinks every bit of it, and then says something along the lines like, fuck you guys, or something, like, gets belligerent with us. And then we're like, what the fuck was that? You're not gonna like this.
Yeah.
You're not gonna like the way you feel in a minute.
Yeah.
This is not Men's Warehouse. You're not gonna like the way you feel.
I guarantee it.
Out.
Yeah.
I'd like to know after the show who that was.
Yeah. And he broke his guitar, his instrument. He broke his instrument.
What instrument does he play? Because that'll tell me who it was.
Well, it'll tell everyone who it was. So I'm not gonna tell you. I'll
Okay,
tell you later.
fair enough.
But he broke his instrument. He broke everyone's heart because practice was over. And we were having a great time.
You mean you couldn't continue?
No, we tried to lean him up against things and prop him
yeah.
up with it, and it just wasn't
It
working.
wasn't working
It was,
out, huh?
He even said, I can play it. It doesn't matter. I can do it. I was like, you're like, okay.
It does matter.
It did matter.
You can't do it.
It did matter.
It mattered a lot,
It did,
actually.
yes,
It was
yes,
actually
yes.
a night-ending occurrence.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm just really glad that I don't have. I've never really done that to like just shut everything down from it being belligerent. Like that's I guess one thing I was able to retain is just being relatively reasonable.
You ever met somebody who's stumbly? When they drink, they get real stumbly, lose their footing a lot,
Yes.
fall over a bunch of things,
Yes.
hurt themselves. I know a couple people like that now, and I've never really had a lot of experience with that, and it's so scary. They get so goddamn stumbly. They're like, you start drinking with a person, and the next thing you know, they're trying to put themselves face plant down the fucking stairs. or
Yeah, in
something.
my experience, that's been more of like something that women deal with, as far as being stumbly.
Women do get awfully stumbly.
Yeah,
You're right.
I think I don't know if there's any sort of science to that, but just in my personal experience, I feel like the ones that I remember were that's because like dudes are always trying to fight, and they skip the critical thinking stage and go straight to what the fuck did that dude say?
I
And
see that. I think there's 2 different types of dudes.
for sure, because
There's a
I'm
fighter
just
and then there's a-
I'm a hugger, dude. I'm like, man, I'm just glad to be here.
I
Yeah.
turn people against the person who's mad at me. So I'll take the person who's mad at me. They want to fight me. I'll turn them against whoever's next to me who's either bigger or a group of people around me. And I'll be like, you
There
see
you
this
go.
fucking moron right here trying to
Yeah.
fucking fight?
You're a politician, bro.
Dude, what's wrong with this dude's IQ, dude?
Senator Vic.
I mean, shit, I'll
Senator
turn
Vinegar.
people on, motherfuckers, dude.
Yeah, you got away with words, man.
I'd rather not fight because I'll get fucked up.
Yeah,
Because I'm not good at it.
and
I'm
yeah,
not
I mean,
good
I
at
think
sex, I'm not
unless
good at fighting.
you're fighting, fucking, and
Fight
pretty good at
fucking-
farting, dude.
Yeah, I can fart, but I mean, it's just natural.
Yeah, I
It's
think
probably not even that strong.
I think fighting's one of those skills that unless you're really using it for, like a career or something, I think it's good to know how to defend yourself. But people that are quick to get in fights because they feel like they have something to prove are just not people that I want to be around.
We gotta prove.
Well, I
You
mean,
can get domestic charges.
I have a buddy, and I'm sure he knows who he is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
One time I got kicked out of a bar before I even got there. I was walking into one of our
Who hasn't though? I've had that happen. And
Uh,
I'm passive.
Well, that's the
They,
thing.
sometimes they just look at you and say nope.
Well, yeah,
You're gonna
they
be a
just
problem.
knew that we were friends, and that's all it took. They were like, they probably thought I was showing up to help. I didn't even know what was going on. I had just shown up, and the bartender was just like, "You gotta go," and I thought she was kidding, so I just kept walking, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, no, get the fuck out," and I was like,
Whoa. Okay. All right. All right.
I was like, "Yo, I just got here." She's like, "I don't give a fuck. Go."
It's so quickly how like a civilian can yell at you, like a bartender or something. And you'll be like, okay, all right. It's like you don't just say like, fuck you, shut
Yeah.
up.
Well, I mean,
some people do.
Well,
but-
yeah, for me, it's more of just a respect thing. Like, I certainly was not intimidated or anything like that, but it's just like,
Because she's a lady.
yeah, I
'Cause
hate
you
women.
Just decimate her
You can take that out.
like
Like,
one punch.
oh, dude, just fucking flatliner. Like the Donkey Kong.
How
you
many
just
punches
hold
do
the-
you think it would take for you to beat up a UFC like bantamweight woman.
Bantamweight woman? Are they fighting back?
Yes.
Is it
Incredibly hard, as hard as they can.
I'd probably lose, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think you just put your fist through their fucking face?
I think if I was able to land clean, I don't want to sit here and be like, I could totally take a woman.
I want you to, though.
a trained
But
fighter.
I want you to say that.
I mean, I weigh 240, but I'm not a hard body.
Can you not just say what I want you to say?
You want me to just say that I
I'm
just
just kidding, dude. You don't have to say that.
I would clear a woman's skull in one punch.
There we go. That's what I want you to say.
I could beat up the vast majority of women in the world, and I'm proud of that.
But you wouldn't, right? Okay. All right.
Depends on if I'm drinking. Thank God I'm not, right?
Oh, shit. All right. Well, that's a fun note to end on. Let's just end on it there.
All right.
It's been a good show, baby. 1,000 years, a million years. Thanks, Harrison. I love you.
It's been a pleasure, man.